Welcome back, guys. Getting a little bit of a late start to this week. I have been sick the last couple of days, so just trying to get caught back up. If you're just joining me, I'll go over what we've got so far with the power steering. Today we're going to be trying to get all the wiring done, so that way that is pretty much finally installed. So just as a recap for those that are joining us, I do have the subframe with the electronic power steering installed. This is from a 2019 WRX. And this body is a 2010, so hydraulic was where it was before, and now we're going all fully electronic. You can see that I've got the power cables there. We've got the power and ground part here, and then we've got the CAN bus and turn on wires as part of that. So I'm going to get those wired up. I did start taking apart the main harness from the fuse box. This actually goes on top of the engine and plugs into the alternator. I believe this is for the AC. These wires here, I did cut. They go to the secondary pump, air pump. So we're going to be using that. That is a 70 amp fuse in here. So I'm going to be using this. This part is the ground wire, so I'm going to remove that. That goes down to this section here. I'm going to run my own ground there, but I will be using the power wire to power up the EPS. So let's get started on that. Very light battery.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place.
Alright, so I did pin these wrong. I put the male in on this side where it's supposed to be a female. So I gotta get a special tool to de-pin this and get this plastic connector pulled out. But I do have the other end here. So this is pinned correctly. I just gotta put this in on that end. So I'm just gonna run the cable in like it is now, and then I'll de-pin that later on.
You got it all on tap.
So just like I did with the interior power wire, I am going to zip tie this up as I want it, and then I'll cut all the zip ties, pull the wire, put some sheathing on there, and then do the final installation on that. These things do not taste good, would not recommend.
I'm so late, you sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
This tool here is not your run-of-the-mill crimper. This is a DT HD crimper, which they make stupid expensive for no reason. All the connectors I use are, I guess they call them Dooch connectors. So DT, DTM, DTPs, and DTHDs, depending on the gauge wire you're working with. So this is what I have so far. I've got the main connector here by the fuse box. It's got the little mounting solution here, which I'm going to print a mount and get that fastened straight to the frame rail. I've got that running around here. I've got the zip tie clips in to one of these holes, kind of like that there. And it follows this harness down here, zip tied. It does go in between the radiator mounts, just like the factory harness does. That'll be zip tied up more when it's done for final installation. We've got it coming up next to this harness, again mounted right here into the frame rail. This is a little long. I'm gonna cut this to where it needs to be, but the other connector's here, and then it basically mounts right there to the bracket and goes down. So that'll be nice and tight to the frame rail and away from the heat source. So right now I am just drilling out this hole here so I can put a nut cert in there, and then I can use that to mount the wiring harness. Alright, so I also 3D printed a DTHD connector holder. Put a little recess in here for that thread cert, and it basically clips in here. This is printed out of PET carbon fiber, so a combination of carbon fiber and PET G. So this should sustain the heat, and the carbon fiber will give us the rigidity that we need. Not sure why I cut that off. That was the right connector, just not the right, or it was right pin, but not the right connector. So that's what I get for rushing things.
Idiot!
Now, because we are in the engine bay, I am using DR25 rather than just a split loom or the expandable loom. I did get a set of these transfer punches from Amazon. Basically what they do is they give you like a little stake tool that you can put basically in the hole. It's tight fit here, but at the edge it's pointed. So when you go to drill your hole, you can use this to mark the hole, and it gives you a point on there so it doesn't move. Just realized that you couldn't see what I was doing, so I basically just drilled a hole, used that center punch, punched a dot there, drilled a hole, put a nut cert in there, so that way I can use these 3D printed brackets again, which I just lost. Put my bolt through there, and tighten it on up. Perfect. Look at that, it's like it belongs. So let's go ahead and remove the whole wiring, and I'll get that finished up with the DR25 and the heat shrink.
And I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. Time staying strong, need to move on to be what I want.
I swear this is like the hardest part, is getting this DR25 to slip over the wire.
To move on to be what I want, I'll keep dreaming on.
So for those of you that don't know what DR25 is, it is made by Raycom. It's extremely abrasive, resistant, chemically resistant, and heat resistant. I believe this was a mil-spec application, and that's where this kind of evolved from. So I use this on pretty much all of the engine bay wiring, anything that's susceptible to the heat, chemical, or even abrasion. I do use another form also, it's called Insultherm. That is a little bit, I don't know if it's higher heat resistance, but it's a little bit thicker, and it looks a lot more like factory heat sleeve, or not heat sleeve, but like the cloth that they use around the actual wiring harnesses. So DR25 is a lot more expensive, but as you can see, once it's installed, it's very nice looking. It's uniform, it doesn't look out of place, and they have a bunch of different sizes.
So just as a quick recap, got everything all covered with DR25, mounted up here. Got the connector mounted on the frame rail. Got it all zip tied in there, nice and tight. Final assembly. Got the connector right there. And everything is nice and tidy. I still need to finalize this connector. So going to be doing a little bit something different. I will, since I'm repurposing the main bulkhead and the engine harness, I will be using the front O2 sensor wiring since it is shielded for the CAN bus wires on this. And then I'll just have a simple 12 volt turn on signal for the rack on that, powered by the M-Tron. So once I get the engine in the harness on, I will finalize this connector, extend the wires, put a DTM connector on there, and then that'll be pretty much done.
All right, guys, that brings us to an end for this week. Appreciate you joining us on this endeavor with the Subaru. Next week, we will be focusing on the amp rack, getting all that wiring situated, final installation, all the carpeting done, and get the rear end of this all wrapped up. Appreciate it, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.